Begin. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our second webinar in the United Through Diabetes event program this year. Tonight, we've got a very important topic that we're going to cover, and that's related to type 2 diabetes. And we've got two fantastic guest speakers with us this evening to talk about the NHS programs that cover prevention and the path to remission programs with type 2 diabetes. This is something that we work very hard at DRWF, and I know that Claire and Karina joining us tonight also work very hard to raise awareness, support people, and engage them on the programs. Over the years, type 2 diabetes has been a massive challenge for us. And despite all the work, all the awareness raising, all of the education, we know that there's still around 1.3 million people with undiagnosed type 2 diabetes out there. And we also know that education is vital in helping people learn about their diabetes, how to manage it, and in many cases, hopefully put it into remission. So that's the topic we're going to cover this evening. I'm going to hand over to our first guest speaker. Before I do that, as you can see on the slide, a few little housekeeping rules. We're going to keep you all muted this evening, so there's no interruptions, but you will have a chance to ask questions. You can do that in the Q&A function on your screen. My colleague Claire is going to be monitoring those, so we can pick those up at the end and put those to Karina and Claire. And if you want to come on the screen, you can let us know, put that in your comment, just put screen, and we'll let you join and ask your question in person. And we're actually recording this evening's webinar, and we're going to be posting it on our YouTube page and also on our UTD Digital Hub. So you'll be able to view that after the webinar. That'll take us a week or so to get that loaded.
Are we doing Q&A for questions or chat?
Q&A, I believe, is the function on tonight's.
Okay,
platform.
that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, Q&A, I've got it open.
Brilliant. And we'll also email you tomorrow with lots of supporting links and information about tonight and other resources that you can go to. So that will follow tomorrow. So without further ado, I shall hand over to Karina Moldovan. Karina is engagement lead with the Healthier You program. She works for Xyla Health and Wellbeing that run the programs for the NHS. Karina.
Thank you very much, Lee, for the nice introduction, and thank you for having us today here. I will start to share my screen, but unfortunately it says host disabled attendee screen sharing, so I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong already. But Georgina, if it's easier, feel free to share my slides and we'll work it that way.
I've just made you co-host, so it may now you.
Okay, brilliant. Entire screen. Okay, I selected. Let's see if it's working. And you can see my slides?
We can see them, yep.
Yeah, okay. Slideshow from current slide. All right. So welcome everybody. Right now I can see only my slides, but feel free to keep your questions until the end and I'm happy to answer them along with my colleague Claire if she wants to help me out. What we are going to talk about today, pretty much we'll try to raise awareness about the diabetes prevention program. We'll see what means, how to join, who's eligible for it, and we'll discuss about pre-diabetes term, gestational diabetes term, and some complications, but as well what support is out there for you to make changes in your lifestyle. So what's prediabetes? I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with this term. Prediabetes, it's very simple said, is when our blood sugar is higher than normal. It's not high enough to be considered type 2 diabetes yet, but without lifestyle changes, adults and children with prediabetes condition are more likely to develop type 2 diabetes at some point in life. As well, if anybody here had a blood test, the test is called HbA1c, and the indication for prediabetes, it will be between 42 to 47 millimole per mole, and this is the range received from your GP. As well, if you had a fasting plasma glucose at some point, that will be between 5.5 and 6.9. But I'm sure sometimes when you had these results, the nurse will run again the HbA1c just to make sure it will be still in this range. What is gestational diabetes? Perhaps you heard women talking about diabetes during pregnancies. When gestational diabetes is diagnosed for the first time, it will be when a woman is pregnant. Like any other types of diabetes, gestational diabetes will affect how the cells use sugar, glucose. This will generally return to normal after giving birth. However, some of the ladies will still be at risk to develop type 2 diabetes in a certain years without any lifestyle change. Probably they will become diabetic. We don't want to scare anybody here. We are just here to raise awareness and explain to you what changes you can do to prevent this risk. What complications might happen if we don't do anything for our health? Complications of type 2 diabetes will include cardiovascular disease such as stroke, heart attack, kidney disease, eye problems, blindness, for example, circulation problems, slow wound healing, high rate of infections, and the last one will be amputations. And I'm sure nobody wants to get all these. Again, we are here to explain to you what to do and support you in any way possible. Some factors are uncontrollable, such as ethnicity, age, but we can do actually something for our health. And those factors that we can control are what we eat, what we put on our plate, what recipes we can follow in order to be healthy, learn how to manage health conditions, how to manage stress that will have an impact on our hormones. Obviously, sleeping well, sleeping enough, getting enough hours of sleep during nights is really important. As well, we don't want to forget being active on top of all these, and as well to maintain a healthy weight. Going back now to the program that is offered for you for free, I just want to tell you that Diabetes Prevention Program is a joint initiative between Diabetes UK, Public Health, and NHS England. And we have few objectives that we would like to fulfill when service users come into our sessions. And it's a lifestyle change program. It's not a losing weight program. However, we are aiming to help patients reduce or at the very least stabilize the blood sugar levels, achieve or maintain a healthy weight and the waist circumference, and prevent type 2 diabetes and the complication that we just walked them through. And as well, we want to help service users create a habit that will help them in the long term, not just over 9 months when they attend our service. We do have a recipe for success, and we split this into 3. It will be under nutrition, moving more, and the psychological side of things. We call it taking charge. The nutrition sessions will cover, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the Eat Well guide. You will be encouraged to eat healthier. The coach will explain to you what to put on your plate that is healthier, doesn't cost a lot of money or just a little bit. For example, a simple example will be what oil you can cook with and the example will be rapeseed, just a little swab. Probably it costs an extra £5. A pound extra on your list, on your shopping list. Moving more will be encouragement to add a little bit of extra physical activity on top what you are doing at the moment. We are not asking anybody to sign up to marathons unless you want to, or sign up to the gym. Again, if your health condition doesn't permit this, you will just be encouraged, for example, just to walk around the block an extra 10 minutes, or gardening, or walking up and down the stairs in your home whenever you feel like. Taking charge, we'll look at the psychological things, and we'll cover sleepless nights and stress management. These all factors are the baseline for having a long-term behavior change in your life, and will have a great and beneficial impact on your health overall. Next slide. Yeah, we'll talk about the service user journey. So what happens once you've been to the doctors, they told you you have the blood test within the pre-diabetic range. You can receive the referral through the GP. However, in my next slides, we'll show you how to join. If you decide to ring us, you will have an initial assessment with our coach, where we are trying to tailor the program according to your needs. We don't give a recipe, a general recipe or a generic booklet for everybody. We are trying to discuss and offer a tailored support program for everybody, meaning we'll give recipes according to your cultural food, or we'll give, for example, videos with exercises that will suit your health condition. Once you choose at this moment whether you want to join face-to-face or digital, or you will be able to join as well the tailored remote service, which is available for gestational diabetes ladies, and as well for patients with health impairments such as blindness or hearing impairments. The digital option will be delivered by our partner Oviva, because they have a more developed application that you can use using your smartphone or tablet. However, the triage will be done by us once you ring us. If, for example, a patient would like to join face-to-face, at this stage, they will be able to choose a good location closer to their home address. So at this stage, you will be asked about your postcode, and our colleagues will try to offer you the best location for you. The program runs 9 months, over 14 sessions in total. You can see on my screen that only 13 are covering the recipe of success. The 14th one, it will be a feedback session to receive from you. The first 6 sessions are fortnightly, the remaining are monthly, just an hour and a half to be in a community hall close to your home, where our health coach will deliver the above sessions. At the end of the program, you will be asked to have this feedback. We are looking for testimonials just to improve our service. If you would like to give it to us, you will discuss it with your coach. You will set up some objectives, and at the end of these sessions, probably you will discuss it if you fulfill these objectives that you wanted to achieve, and you will be discharged from service. At this point, you will be offered a 12-month support package. That meaning once per month to be able to contact our health coaches just to discuss how are you getting on, if you need any support from us. So pretty much almost 2 years of support to prevent the risk of getting type 2 diabetes. Similar support you will receive if you choose the digital coaching, but again, it's delivered by our partner Oviva, but the subjects will be the same. Over here is just to show you that you will be given access to our well-being app. We do have a smaller app if you want, but it's not as developed as Oviva, so we can run the entire digital program. You can see that we will be offering you physical activities videos that you can follow whenever you want at your home. You will have a local signposting pack where you will find similar activities happening in the community, such as cooking sessions or yoga sessions. Probably we'll find the free ones and the most cheapest ones that you can find. As well, we offer our service in different languages, which are the most popular, and we have our handbooks available in different languages, depends which ones is needed. And as well, through the app, you will receive text messages and email reminders to attend sessions. If anybody will miss a sessions, let's say they go on holiday or they cannot attend, they will catch up the session with our coach remotely. You won't need to go back to a physical session. Yeah, this one is just to show you what else our well-being app resources are. Recipes you can find in there, you can try them. Physical activities you can add there whenever you've walked probably a mile or two, you can add your what you've done and how much time did you spend for these activities. And for the psychological part, you will be given tools such as mindfulness videos, breath work techniques. You will be guided through all these videos, or just like a podcast that you can listen to. So everything, I'm just repeating this, everything for free. So who's eligible? Probably you are wondering who can join. The patient needs to be an adult. We don't want to say 80, 85, but however, if you are over 80 and you still want to join, we encourage you speaking with a GP just to make sure you can do a little bit of exercise, because we don't want to endanger anybody. Another requirement is to have the blood test valid within the year. So if you had it, let's say last May, and it passed the year, just ask the GP to repeat it for you, just to make sure you are still within the prediabetes range. Have the blood test within the prediabetes range, which is 42 to 47, or the fasting plasma glucose 5.5 to 6.9. And for anybody with gestational diabetes history, we don't require any blood test. Ladies can self-register on our website, or they can ring our number and they can ask for a spot in our sessions. And again, this for this cohort, we will be delivering online for these ladies. And as well, if somebody is currently pregnant, they will be placed on hold until 1 month post-delivery, because the hormones will go back to normal after giving birth. They will have the checkup with the midwives at the GP. And at that point as well, the midwife can signpost to our service. However, if the patient would like to self-register, is the easiest way to do it. Who's not able to join? We do have an exclusion criteria, unfortunately. If anybody had a previous diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, however, my colleague Claire will walk you through a different type of the service that you can join if anybody is within the criteria. So help is here, don't you worry. If anybody had an active eating disorder, if a patient has a severe or moderate frailty, however, if they feel like joining, we are welcoming them. If they had undergone bariatric surgery in the last 2 years, I would like just to explain bariatric surgery, meaning it's when they had the surgery to lose the weight. Probably, patients, they don't understand this clinical term. And anybody with an age under 18, so minors, a different service will be accessible to them. So we are not able to welcome them, unfortunately. So how to join? There are different ways. On our website, if you scan this QR code now or take a picture and you can do it later on, you can do it on our website. There is a registration form, simple as that. Or you can ring our number, which will show on on my next slide. And as well, I'm not sure if anybody here will use the NHS app. If you go within your NHS app at the GP Health record, you can see your latest blood test result. And you can check yourself if it's pre-diabetes within this range. Now you know that is between 42 and 47. Let's say if it's 43 or 45, that means you are eligible and you can self-register without going back to the GP. And as well, you can just ring us on this number or 0333 577 3010. And as well, if you want to navigate our website, it's over there, xylaservices.com, and you can read more about the services. Well, I think this one is my last slide, so I will stop sharing so Georgina can talk to us. Now I can see people. But I'm happy to answer any questions. I didn't see anybody, so I'm not sure if anybody wrote in the chat.
Not yet.
Not yet. What I wanted to ask, I'm not sure if I invited Jeff from our area, who is our service user. He attended our sessions and he was very, very happy and enthusiastic to share his experience. So I'm not sure if he's already here.
Is it Jeff Booth? Is that the right?
Yes.
Yeah, I will. We've got Jeff in the.
So I'm not sure if you want to invite Jeff to talk right now or at the end after Claire is doing hers. So
Okay.
I leave it with you.
And just to let you know, you're still sharing the screen. So.
Oh, I'm still okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Technology.
Shall I bring Jeff in once Claire's done hers?
Or we can do Jeff now so that he can talk, because his experience is related to the programme Crean has just spoken about.
Yeah.
I've invited Jeff to become a...
If he's ready, I'm not sure. I put him on the spot. In the meantime, I just want to mention, because this is a nationwide webinar, us as provider Xyla, we cover certain areas which you can find on our website, and Lee kindly will share the links. However, you can check if Xyla is your provider in the area. If it's not, don't you worry. If you go on nhs.net or .com website, you can search over there who's the provider in your area. But the Healthier You Diabetes Prevention Program, it's accessible nationwide. It's just different providers, but the same topics. Just to make it clear, because this one, is not local.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, hello, Jeff. How are you?
I don't know. I don't think you can see me.
No, we can see only your name.
Well,
Yes.
when I try and start my video on my camera, it says it's being used by other apps. Close the apps and try again. I haven't got any other apps open, so you might just have to listen to me.
We can listen.
We seem to have a camera. It's probably a blessing anyway that you can't see me. Yeah.
You're coming in loud and clear, Jeff.
Well, that's positively. Thank you. I can see you all. So that's positive. Where would you like me to start? I guess I had a blood test as a what I would call an MOT. Me being an engineer, preventative. My father passed of prostate cancer, so I was very concerned about getting a regular blood test, and I was astounded to get a flag. And I'll share with you. I was 42. I came in at 42 as a sugar level. And it hit me. It didn't hit me like a ton of bricks, but I was very surprised because I consider myself to be active, a fairly healthy eater. I cycle to work, and I'm usually eating my salad at lunchtime. And I thought I've got nothing to lose by doing the doing the program. I had a view of what my fellow colleagues would be, but I was proven wrong. There were people of all ages, lots of different backgrounds there. I think the oldest, or the most senior, I should say, gentleman was in his 90s. He was fantastic. So, I met a whole variety of people, all with a common issue, let's say. And for me, it was a success, undoubtedly. Be sure that there is no magic wand. I think there was a view by some that they would be able to sit in on these sessions, a magic wand would be waved over them, and they would go away, suddenly with the blood sugar lowered. So obviously you need to make some changes to your lifestyle. And for me, my downfall, I suppose you could sum me up as a caveman. I can go for hours and hours without eating, but when food is presented, whether it's caveman or dog, similar thing. I will keep eating. I have a very challenging off switch, if that's the right thing. Very seldom do I feel full and satisfied. A lot of people you see them, they leave food on their plate and they say, I've had enough. I will go up for seconds and thirds, making sandwiches for myself in the evening, usually last thing at night, because I'm a night owl. I'd come to sleep in a minute. So I'd make my sandwiches for myself and the wife, and it used to be one sandwich for lunchtime tomorrow, and a quick butter and a sandwich for me at midnight, just before bedtime, because it just feels good to eat one. And of course, what does that do? It lies on your stomach all night, doesn't it? Poor body's trying to get rid of the food. So I think one of the keys for me is not necessarily to put less on the plate, but to eat it slower. Eat it slow. You can take twice as long over your food and actually eat less, because that signal will come. It takes a while for me. They say, 20 minutes normally for the stomach to say, I've got some food on board. So eating slow. And let's be honest, food is a joy. Food is certainly a joy to me. But when you've swallowed it, you can't taste it anymore. So why not keep it in your mouth a bit longer and pass it around your mouth, enjoy that flavoursome experience, and take twice as long over your dinner, and generally you will eat less, because that signal will come and say, I've had enough. And that was one of the key things, is to really savour your food, slow down, make time to eat, rather than dashing about, which is what I tend to do, certainly during the day. Dash about, gollop your food down, and then you haven't appreciated it. So for me, I do eat less, yes, certainly, and I certainly don't pick like I was picking. It's that quick packet of crisps. It's that quick, I just have a biscuit. 200 calories in a biscuit. You can have Jeff Booth with a hot cup of tea with a packet of biscuits. A packet of ginger nuts could have gone down easy as pie. And if I don't know how many biscuits you get, but 200 calories each, do the numbers. So
I remember years ago, a consultant at one of our events saying that if you had on average, 2 chocolate digestives with your cup of tea in the morning, you'd have to do a 3-mile run to work off the calories just from 2 biscuits.
Never a truer word, Lee. Never a truer word. Absolutely. So, and I'll be honest, my struggle still is in the evening. I'm pretty busy at work. I'm busy at work. Usually get in about 8 o'clock, because I tend to work late. Haven't had my I'll probably get told off by the Xyla Health people, but don't tend to have my supper at 5 o'clock. It's usually 8 o'clock, which is it is too late. But then start the grazing, and going to bed, having eaten maybe at 9, 10 o'clock. So I have a 9 o'clock curfew now. Nothing after 9 o'clock. I'll be honest, my tea without the biscuits is my saviour. Sit there with a pot of tea, and get liquids on board rather than it just takes the edge off wanting to eat. And my stomach plays games. It can be rumbling away when I go to bed, but in the morning I'm not hungry. So you do get this kind of false signals. But for me, I thought it was a fantastic program because it things like glycemic index, which is the rate that foods release sugars. A lot of people have no idea. And the same as me, I was fairly oblivious. You look at the packet, you look at sugar that's in the ingredients, but I wasn't aware of the natural sugars that can be released from, bread, for instance. If you have, white bread, you'll get sugars released a lot quicker than if you have brown bread. Just drinking milk, that's the lactose. Thinking I'm going to be healthy today, I will be healthy, I will have lots of fruit. Well, there's another source of sugars, maybe natural sugars, but as the instructor said, sugar is sugar, whether it's natural or processed. So again, I have much less fruit. I have fruits which have been shown to me to be better sugars, let's say strawberries, for instance, instead of grapes. So you start the day with a nice bowl of porridge, which I always did, but I used to have lots of grapes on them, whereas now I have strawberries on my porridge, a few less. And so awareness of food, and it is a challenge. I find that there are so many processed foods about that don't really tell you about the sugars that will be released when you eat those. And it's more of a challenge to eat healthy than it is to eat badly. And I think that's the food systems issue really is the amount of rubbish that's available. I'll say that the amount of fat, salty, sugary foods which are readily available to eat. You have to make a conscious effort to eat healthily. But once you get into a routine and just be careful, again, the scales are the godsend. Just have a look at yourself. How's my weight? It's easy to keep yourself stable than to be gaining weight and trying to lose, my halo slips like everybody else. I can eat. I'll hands up if I had my camera on. I can still eat half a packet of biscuits without batting an eyelid. But I don't. It's a special treat. It's once a month, or if I've been working hard, if I've cycled a long way, or I've been grafting, I think I'll reward myself. I went to an eat all you want buffet the other day. Didn't have any breakfast. Just, abstained a bit. I ate for England. So people say, "Oh, it's naughty." But you can still got to enjoy yourself. This isn't about going without and being miserable, which it can be, if you are so consciously looking, but making wise choices, you can still enjoy your food. You can have a healthy life. So I came back a few weeks ago with the latest blood test down at 36. So I've gone from 42 to 36 in, what would it be, 2 years, I think now. So thank you for the thumbs up. That's it's nice. And I don't think the changes have been dramatic. It's just making sensible choices, having brown rice instead of white, having a bit less, as you've said. And I always use the stairs at work. That's a slight lie. If I'm very weighed down, I may be that, but generally I will walk up the stairs, and as I walk up the stairs, I'll think, I can have some extra dinner on my plate tonight. That'll be the reward for using the stairs. Just using that a bit of extra energy and moving about. You don't, like's been said, I'm not an athlete. I might cycle to work, but I'm the one who is bumbling along in the gutter. I'm not a racer or anything. But just taking regular exercise. Just think, well, I'll walk to the shops instead of go in the car, or I'll park at the other end of the car park when I go to the supermarket, and I'll walk the length of the car park. It's all these little tiny changes will make all the differences. And I think anything that you do has clearly got to be sustainable. it's like dieting, isn't it? A lot of people, I'm on a diet, and it will last for X number of weeks, and generally, in a lot of cases, things may well revert back. So, my recommendation would be steady, just make gradual, sensible changes. No records to be broken, and the solidarity that certainly I found joining the sessions, people you would never meet. I'm still in touch with one of the chaps regular. We have a little WhatsApp at least once a week from very different backgrounds. I would never have met that person, and yet we get on really well, and we support each other. The ongoing support, not only from Zyla in this case, but from peers who may become friends. That's a really important thing. I think a lot of people do find it easier when they know there's other people to, as a team, if you like. So for me, I was
We lost Jeff.
right. I went in full of defined. What am I doing in this session? I'm active, and now I found myself in this also same active, and and I thought, well, here we are. So it was an eye opener, and I certainly go around work saying to people that be careful what you eat. Nobody wants to be in a situation where they go down the path, if it can be avoided, of diabetes. I don't know if a lot of people know. I know someone who's got type 2, and I feel for them, because it's a nasty thing. She's just been banned from driving because her eyes are going. Now her legs are starting to go, and it's nasty. So whatever we can do to prevent it, whatever we can do to support each other in keeping healthy, that's got to be positive, hasn't it? I'm an engineer. I fix, and design mechanical things, but the human body and the medical, to improve somebody's life, what I'm trying to say, is far more important than helping build you a car or design a mechanical thing. Life is so precious, and whatever we can do. And I found, the program, free of charge, jump on the bus. Okay, cost of the bus travel, but hey, whatever, free of charge to turn up, get expert advice, to get provided with books and packs and apps. Hey, what is there not to like?
Jeff, we're so lucky. We're so lucky to have access to this support and information in the UK. A lot of countries just don't have the wealth of NHS programs, charities, support groups, and I think everything you've said there is really key, especially using something like the programs for early detection, because there's no lie to say that the earlier you can diagnose something like type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, you've got the best chances of putting it into remission, managing it, or even, because not everyone can put it into remission. There's the other thing, isn't there?
Yes.
For some people, it's lifestyle related. And I think this is where we've seen over the years a lot of misinformation in the media, which has thankfully changed massively. But some people get type 2 because it is genetic. It runs in their family. Mum had it, granddad had it. There's ethnicity, gestational, as Karina was saying. So lots of factors, but yeah, we know the education, the awareness, and as you said again, it's not easy. It's really hard. You've got to learn. You've got to retrain your brain completely to look at food in a different way, understand how it works, understand the function of carbs and digestion, and how fast it sugars into your blood, and what to do. And I think most, how many times do you hear people telling you off for having a bit of cake or, a chocolate
Yes.
biscuit? But, a jacket potato or a plate of pasta can put your blood sugar up more than a Mars bar. So,
Yes.
yeah. And what you said about working late, we know that shift work has a huge impact on type 2 diabetes, understanding glycemic index, processed foods, they're cheap and cheerful. People eat processed foods because if you're on a budget, what do you
Yes.
go for? So yeah, lots of really, that was inspirational. Yeah, I think you're a brilliant advocate for Claire and Karina.
Well, yeah, thank you for the compliment back. It's always nice. It's nice to be asked. I was quite flattered to be asked to say a few words to you. Again, yeah, the thing on stress that I didn't touch on stress. I'm currently about to be made redundant, but a university lecturer. So you might what your view is that we get long holidays, etc. But when you walk into a class of 250 people, and it's a stressful situation. When you're faced with having to mark 200 exams or courseworks, there's an opportunity for sitting at your desk grazing, because it's repetitive. You've got to try and keep the focus, and it's all too easy to have a packet of crisps there or a packet of biscuits, and there you keep grazing to try and keep yourself inspired to keep going. But certainly stress at work, yes, it all contributes. And getting a decent night. So I'm still a naughty boy. I'm still going to bed at 2 o'clock and getting up at 7. But I'm still a naughty boy. But yeah, getting good sleep and not lying there ruminating about what's going to happen today or what's going to happen tomorrow. The ability to switch off. So again, we as was mentioned, we did a bit of mindfulness and focus the mind on nice things. We can all learn things from this. I don't think there's anybody, whether you are pre-diabetic or not, there is nobody. If you went in it with an open mind, I wager that everybody would learn from this course. I thought it should be delivered to everybody. It was started right back in schools, because you would then start to get to the situation where it's preventative maintenance. A lot of people would never get in that situation because they would be aware of what they should be doing to maintain a healthy lifestyle. It should be rolled out. To me, it's clearly that I don't ever remember being taught about glycemic index, and we did a bit in home economics in my day about carbs and fats, but it's all a bit boring when you're at school. But it becomes so important, doesn't it? Food is fuel. Food is joyous, but ultimately, food is fuel. And you put diesel in your tank of your petrol car, and things happen. So eating the wrong thing, putting the wrong thing in your tank. It's funny how the human body loves things that aren't particularly good for it, isn't it? Feed me a jam donut. I'm like a dog with two tails. But it's sugar but I don't know what that is that makes us love fat, salt, and sugar. But that's a fact of life. But if you are aware, you can still indulge, but it's things in moderation, isn't it? I think that's the secret. Things in moderation.
So. And I also think I've got type 1 diabetes. I've had it for over 25 years, and my relationship with food has definitely changed. I think after a while, don't get me wrong, I'll still demolish a piece of cake or a jam donut, but after a while, I don't feel the need to have one. You can put cake in front of me, and I'm like, not fussed. So I think you do train your brain. You rewire your brain after a while.
Yes. Almost the less you eat, the more you choose things to eat, the less you desire to eat those other things. So that's definitely a fact, Lee. I do agree with you.
Yeah, like not having sugar in your tea. After a while, if someone puts sugar in your tea.
Oh, horrendous. Isn't it horrendous? Yeah. Yes, it took. I mean, this was well before. I mean, probably 20 odd years ago when I started cutting down sugar in tea. And as you say, I was down to half for ages, but I couldn't touch it now because, as you say, you retrain your. Absolutely, excuse me. Yes, so yeah, I can't speak highly enough. It's been enlightening, and I think every day. I think about my instructor, virtually tapping me on the shoulder, saying, "Be careful what you eat," and particularly being calorie aware. I think when you go to the odd restaurant and they list the calories on the menu. I'm still not very good at predicting, but it frightens. Yeah, it's surprising. You have a little bowl of chips, and there's your 500 calories. Whereas if you have some, I don't know, a small portion of mashed potato, so it's the calories and obviously the glycemic index. So yeah, it's a complicated thing. As I say, I still find it a challenge. I still feel I'm short of knowledge. Because there's so much variety of food out there. Yeah, but there are certain key things, and obviously,
if you get inventive, Jeff, if you love cooking, you can make some awesome food that's healthy, hasn't got all the rubbish in it.
Yes.
I think if you get experiment and get inventive with food.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I've got no excuse now, really, Lee, because in 3 weeks' time I will be made redundant. I was sort of ready to go anyway, so I'm more time in the kitchen. I do like a bit of cooking, so that is the plan: is to, cook from scratch more with more time, and yeah, increase the knowledge. Yes, that's the plan.
Also, we'll all be round, won't we?
Yeah, you're always welcome. No problem at all. No problem. Small portions only.
Okay. Brilliant. Thanks, Jeff.
No trouble at all. Sorry, the camera didn't work. I had rehearsed this, but there's always something seems to happen on the actual time when it's needed. But I've closed all my other apps and it's just not working. So
don't worry.
Sorry about that.
Every webinar, every conference, every wellness day that we've done for years, the gremlins come out.
They seem to, don't they? Yes.
They like playing havoc.
We do. Yeah, lovely. So yeah, thanks very much for asking me on. I hope I've said a few useful things and I haven't droned on for too long with talking about rhubarb. And thank you once again to everybody and anyone who's listening and thinking, oh, don't I? Attend. Absolutely. No brainer. There's no question. Everybody should do it. What a fantastic opportunity for everybody to go along and learn and grasp it and just go steady with it. And hopefully you'll make a difference to your life. What is there not to like?
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I wanted to say thank you. And I appreciate your time coming here to be so motivational and inspirational. I want to do it, everything what you said there.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah,
we appreciate your time.
Good luck to everybody. And thank you very much for inviting me on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Gosh, I'm going to go on the program myself now.
You definitely should, Lee. Get there. Everybody should. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. So are you ready, Claire?
Well, that was a tough act to follow, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, very motivational.
I'm partnering with Georgina. I think she's going to share my slides for me.
Lovely.
We're moving on to the program now, which is suitable for people who are diagnosed as type 2 diabetic. So people who want to achieve remission from their diabetes. And I'll be covering the definition of the remission. I'll be covering the program and how to achieve remission, hopefully, the criteria. At the moment, you've got a slide there which shows which are the areas that we are the provider for this program. So like Karina's program that Karina spoke about, it's free of charge. It's available nationally. So thank you for the opportunity to chat tonight, Lee. Appreciate there could be a lot of people from lots of different areas on here, but we are the provider for these areas. So if you want to know the minutiae of this programme and you're in this area, you're in the right place tonight. But Lee's going to share, and on the bottom of my slide there is how you look up the providers in the other areas. So everybody can access this programme, but the way I tell it tonight is the way that we deliver it in these contract areas. And I actually look after Hampshire and Isle of Wight. Lee's based in Havant there anyway, so maybe we do have quite a few Hampshire people on the call tonight anyway. But if you don't, we can still look after you. So may I have the next slide, please? So this programme, the Type 2 Diabetes Path to Remission, it is focused on weight loss. It's different to the prevention programme. It's that achievement of weight loss which is going to strip the visceral fat away from the organs and help your body metabolically achieve remission. So that's controlling your diabetes without the need for medication. And the definition of that is under 48 millimoles per mole over 6 months. So if you're off of your medication, you're under 48 millimoles per mole, and you achieve that for at least 6 months and hopefully beyond, then you have achieved diabetes remission as a result of possibly coming on this programme. So the programme is focused on reducing the glucose levels with the aim of achieving type 2 diabetes remission. And the overall outcome of this programme is we're looking to reduce the medication. So not only will you be instructed by your GP to come off your metformin, come off whatever medication it is you're on, and you will be instructed by your GP. This is what makes this programme totally different to other weight loss programmes that are available out there, other weight loss interventions that are very popular at the moment. This one is going to help you come off those diabetes lowering medications in supervision, in tandem with your GP, your clinician, and in tandem with us, because the programme features an intervention which lasts 12 weeks, which is the soups and shakes element of the programme. But then we're going to look after you for a whole year afterwards. You won't be able to get rid of us. We'll see you for 20 appointments over those 12 months and really fix these habits in for life for you. May I have the next slide? So the eligibility criteria, not very easy for me to say this late at night, is you need to be under 6 years diagnosed and you need to be under 65 years old. At the moment, that is the criteria. It's set by NHS England. We don't have any flexibility over that criteria. So do bear that in mind if you do think this programme is for me. You need to have an overweight BMI. So that's 27 for anybody who's of white origin. And then that's been ethnically adjusted if you come from another background, another ethnic background, down to 25. So everybody needs to be under 87 millimoles per mole to come on this programme. But if you're on diabetes medication, the range you need to be is 43 to 87. And if you're not on diabetes medication, you need to be 48 to 87. I know I've mentioned that we're going to, in conjunction with your clinician, allow you to come off your diabetes medication, but this programme is also for people who are newly diagnosed as well. So even if you're not on medication at the moment, we can help you avoid medication totally. So there's a range if you're on diabetes medication and a range if you're not on diabetes medication. We need to make sure that your reading is current when you come on the programme. So it's a recent reading that we need to refer you on, or the GP will refer you on. And please make sure that you have attended all of your screening and care processes, regardless of whether you're thinking about this programme, whether you're entering yourself onto the programme or whatever. It's really important that you attend those care processes, even if you achieve remission. We want to look after you and the chance of complications from the condition. So please don't ignore any invites at all for any screening as a result of considering or thinking or being on this programme. May I have the next slide? So there is some exclusion criteria as well. So you can't be an insulin user to be on this programme. That usually correlates with being further along in your diabetes journey. So the fact that you need to be under 6 years diagnosed, that you need to be under 65, that normally is a good marriage with not being on insulin, and that would exclude you from being on this programme. You can't be pregnant or planning to become pregnant before the end of the 12-month programme. I know we can't foresee these things sometimes, but if it's something that's in the equation for you, then maybe this programme is not right for you at this particular moment in time. You can't be currently breastfeeding because there is a period of rapid weight loss that's encouraged through this programme, so that's not a good match either. Hampshire and Isle of Wight only got this programme last April, so there is one of the conditions that says if you have been discharged from the programme in the last 12 months, having commenced the programme, you need to wait before you can go on the programme again. So that's quite hard if you're in Hampshire and Isle of Wight, because we've only just had the programme. So people are only just finishing that 12 months now. So hopefully that shouldn't apply. But if you come from another area and you've had the programme a little bit longer than us, then you need to leave a 12-month wait between doing the programme again. And when I say doing the programme again, you need to have consumed that first shake. Okay, you need to have started the programme. We don't mind if you've had a conversation with your GP and you went away and thought about it, but you didn't really start it, or whether it's been in the back of your mind and you've been meaning to do something, that is not classified as starting the programme. So do bear that in mind. And the onboarding process that we follow makes sure that you are totally ready for this journey in any case. So if you do start it, I think you're going to be 100% committed, because you're going to know, certainly from the result of this webinar tonight, how fantastic the programme is. You can't have had one of the significant comorbidities that is not limited to cancer, heart attack or stroke in the last 6 months, or have an active eating disorder. So there are some things that just aren't a good match for this programme. You can't have had bariatric surgery, but you can be on the waiting list for bariatric surgery. And it's always up to the healthcare professionals' discretion as to whether, due to the demands of the programme or the monitoring requirements, if you have any physiological or physical conditions or comorbidities that might affect your ability to come on this programme. It is strenuous. I'm going to go into the details in a minute. It's not for everyone. It's not for the faint-hearted. And maybe if you are a forgetful person, or you don't get on with technology, because we're monitoring you all the whole time, because this programme is clinically supervised the whole way through, we do need you to submit those measurements. So if that doesn't sound like something that's good for you, then maybe this programme isn't right for you. But I'm going to go into the details in a minute. May I have the next slide? Thank you so much. So this programme is based on a fantastic scientific study. It was a randomised controlled trial, gold standard of clinical trials that is available out there, and it was called the DIRECT study. If you like the science, if you want to have a little bit of a Google, have a look at Professor Roy Taylor from Newcastle. He's got some lovely videos on YouTube where he talks about the programme. What I understand is that in year 1, 46% of the people in the intervention achieve remission as defined in the trial, compared to 4% in the control group. So the results, according to the study, were overwhelming. At year 2, 70% of those people were still in remission. So not only were the effects outstanding, but they were long lasting as well. And what the study showed was that the success of the programme correlates to the amount of weight that you can lose. Our data is sitting around the 10 to 15 kilogram mark. And if you're an old money person, that's around 2 stone. That makes you 60% likely to achieve remission. For anybody achieving over a 15 kilogram weight loss, that makes you 70% likely to achieve remission. And trust me, many of our patients are achieving that substantial amount of weight loss. So there's a really, really good chance of success with this programme. At year 5, according to the study, 25% of people were still in remission, compared to 3.4% that were in the control group. So again, outstanding results. Overall, the intervention group saw greater improvements in their blood pressure and their blood sugar, and fewer needed medication than in the control group. So these results are great. The success is really there to see, and also there are long-lasting effects, because if you can stay off medication, you're going to stay away from the complications that come along in later life. May I have the next slide, please? So much like Karina talked about with the prevention programme, This is a really holistic look at your lifestyle as well. And we cover the recipe for success. So we talk about moving more. So we talk about what represents more incremental exercise for you this week than it did last week. Okay, everybody is an individual, and what you can achieve versus what you could achieve in the past compared to the future is what we're going to focus on. We talk about taking charge, so the physiological benefits of a good night's sleep. Do you have a poor work-life balance? Do you have a lot of stress in your life? Do you have caring responsibilities? You know, could you show yourself a little bit of self-compassion and really show yourself some self-care to make sure that, you know, you are in charge of that sleep, you know, creating some really good routines for some good sleep hygiene, nice cup of cocoa, nice warm bath before you go to bed to make sure you get a good night's sleep. And we obviously talk about nutrition on this program. I'm not going to talk too much about it during weeks 1 to 12 when you're on the soups and shakes, because that would be a little bit unkind. But we're certainly going to focus on resuming solids, going back onto 3 healthy meals a day, looking at cooking from scratch. You know, how do you recognize ultra processed foods? All the things to make these habits stick for life, to give you back the uncontrollable of the controllable things in your life and build up to some fantastic long-term behaviour change. May I have the next slide? Thank you so much. So this is what the journey looks like. So you may come to this talk tonight and you may think, I've been thinking about this and it's something I'm really interested in. I am going to go to my GP surgery in the morning and I'm going to have a chat with them about this. And you can do that. And the GP is the way to get onto this program. You need to be referred by a healthcare professional. There's no self-referral route for this program, and you can't do it based on your HbA1c result and self-register at all. The GP needs to refer you because of that, you know, element of the deprescribing that needs to happen as a result of you coming onto the program. So the recommendation for you to stop your medication only can come from your GP surgery. But once they do complete that referral form on your behalf, we'll be in touch within 5 working days to say, thanks for your interest in the programme, we're going to look after you now. And what we'll set you up with is a booking call. So at that booking call, we're going to confirm you're eligible, we're going to confirm you know what's happening on day 1 of the programme, stop your metformin, for example, and we're going to ask you which way you would like to attend the programme. Now with this programme, there are 2 options. So you can do the program face-to-face, so you can have your 20 appointments over the course of the year with your diabetes practitioner in the local library, at the local village hall, maybe in your GP surgery actually. So you can do the program face-to-face if you want to. Some people really like that. They're happy being weighed and measured in front of somebody. That's seen as, you know, a better level of commitment. Other people possibly can't make that half-hour appointment weekly, fortnightly or monthly, whatever the frequency is at the time, and they would prefer to do that the course digitally. So the way you would send in your measurements is online. The way you would have your coaching is through a telephone call with your diabetes practitioner. So if that suits you better because you're a shift worker, if that suits you better because you don't really want to see somebody face to face, that's absolutely fine. We'll match your comfort level with the 2 different options of the 2 different ways of doing the program. So at the initial assessment, which can follow any time up to 21 days after having received that referral, we're going to recap the program. We're going to capture your baseline data, and we're also going to set your goals. What do you want to achieve as a result of doing this program? If you can lock in what is your reason for doing this program, that is going to stand you in better stead for the success at the end of the program. You know, are you looking to retire? Do you want to take up a pilot's license? Do you want to be around for young grandchildren? You know, what is your reason for doing this? Because again, everybody's reason is different. But if we can actually write that down, you can reflect back on that at the end of the year and congratulate yourself on how fantastically you've done. Now, stage 1 of the program is when you consume that first shake. Now, you can set for yourself any time in the next 60 days when you would like to start that program. Because we realise you might have a holiday, you might have a week of caring responsibilities, which are going to be stressful for you, and that's not a good time for you to commit to the 12 weeks of soups and shakes. Either way, you have the luxury of 60 days. So where are we now? We're in June. If you think the 1st of July, that's a good date for me, we can program that in for you. We want your friends on board, we want your family on board, and we want you free of commitments that are going to possibly derail you. Of course, we're going to talk about and coach you through derailments later on in the program, but certainly if you can clear your diary, if you can schedule yourself 12 of the clearest weeks in your schedule to set yourself up for the best amount of success, then hopefully you are going to have the greatest amount of success with this program. And the first 12 weeks are really strict. The first 12 weeks are 12 weeks of just soups and shakes. So you'll consume 4 products every day, something for breakfast, something for lunch, something for dinner, and carry around something with you that you consider a snack. During this phase of the program, we're not going to talk about nutrition, as I said. We're going to talk about behavior change. We're going to talk about habit forming and how you solve problems around staying committed to the total diet replacement phase of the program. Then after the first 12 weeks, we're going to move on to stage 2, which is food reintroduction. Depending on how you feel the weight loss has gone, depending on whether you feel happy and confident about how your progress has gone, you can go back onto 1 meal a day, you can go back onto 2 meals a day, or you can ramp things straight back up and go on to 3 meals a day if you want to. If you want to resume your exercise habits and you're feeling really confident about how your progress has been. Either way, we will hold your hand until you are ready to go back on to 3 meals a day. But certainly we would love everybody to be back on 3 meals a day by week 18. Oh, excuse me. During this element of the program, we're going to coach you around healthy diet, and we're going to coach you around ramping up that exercise and moving more for you. And then at stage 3, we're focusing on weight maintenance. So we're looking at sustaining that weight loss. We're talking about socializing and sleep. How do I cope with those life events that have previously derailed me in the past? And we're also going to help you visualize your new life, your new health, your new body confidence, whatever it is you have achieved for you. We're going to help you embed those habits. At the end of week 52, hopefully we'll have a nice final assessment and we'll be celebrating success, and we'll be signposting you to those free options, those cheap options, those economical things that are out there in the community that are going to help you keep these changes for life. Now, as I did mention, that's all right, Georgine, don't worry. As I did mention, top right-hand corner, measurement collection is an essential part of every session. So do bear in mind, am I happy to submit my data? Am I happier to see somebody in person to do that? Or am I confident with smartphone technology and I'm happy to submit my data using an app? Either way, we'll cater for you, but we need to make sure that we monitor you at all times so that you are responding well to this journey and you are staying within the ranges that we are expecting you to achieve as a result and as your progress goes along. So the total diet replacement products, we have partnered with a company called Ultralife, and they provide nutritionally complete total diet replacement products. You, in the first 12 weeks of the program, are going to be consuming 4 products a day, and that's around 800 to 900 calories. You might say to yourself, "Oh, that's a big drop," but trust me, your body will adjust. Okay, if you give yourself 3 to 4 days. Personally, if it was me, I'd start it all on a Friday. I'd have a really sleepy weekend, no commitments at all, not expect to see anybody, get some box sets in, and just sleep whilst my body adjusts to the new regime. You will adjust, and people say within 3 to 4 days that their energy comes back. They get this joie de vivre that they didn't know they had, and they're really thriving on such a low calorie diet. It's amazing how your body switches over. The shakes are available in 6 different flavors. So we do vanilla, strawberry, banana, mango, chocolate, and latte. And when you order the products, you are only ever ordering 4 flavors at any one time. So you might think, oh, I'm only like vanilla and strawberry. But when we send you a pack of everything in that first 21 days as part of the onboarding process, you will get to taste the vanilla, you'll get to taste the strawberry, the chocolate, the latte, the 2 soups as well. And you'll go, okay, I get on well with the banana, I get on well with the mango. You're only ever ordering 4 flavors at any one time. So there's loads of flexibility in the plan as well. So month 1, you might go strawberry and banana with a chicken soup. Month 2, you might go vanilla chocolate with the vegetable soup. So there's flexibility in the plan. Also, depending on which time of the year you're doing this program, you've got 2 hot products there, which are obviously chicken and vegetable soup. Some people have spoken about how they put their chocolate shake in the microwave and they treat it like a bit of a hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate, so that would suit me down to the ground as well. Do bear in mind that we do a halal and gluten-free range and a vegan range, and there's also a lactose-free range for anybody who's lactose intolerant. So do vocalize that when we're going through an initial assessment, and please don't think that we haven't got a range that caters for everybody. We absolutely do. We advocate a fibre supplement with the programme as well, because things might slow down a little bit when you're on a liquid-only diet. So we do advocate that you have your fibre supplement each day. And if you consume 2 litres of water as well, that would be amazing. All your tea and coffee needs to be black. You can have any 0-calorie drinks that you want, and anything that's sugar-free or 0 calories. Service users will get a sample pack to trial all the flavours, so you'll be set up totally for total diet replacement phase day 1 of the programme, because you'll know exactly what you like. May I have the next slide? So this is a lovely little recap. So this is the total support that's available for you. So we're going to onboard you. We're going to talk to you about what you want to achieve from this programme. Our team is going to record your baseline data so that you can celebrate success at the end of the programme. And we're going to triage you to the right delivery model that is suitable for you. So if you want to go face-to-face, you can. If you want to do the course digitally, you can. Then we're going to guide you through the total diet replacement phase of the programme. So you'll choose your total diet replacement products. You'll start working with our diabetes practitioners, and we'll coach you on behavioural change to support you through that weight loss phase of the programme. Then at stage 2, we're going to be talking about food reintroduction. Depending on the speed that you are ready, you can go back onto 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, and hopefully incorporate some new exercise with this fantastic new healthy body that you'll have. We'll help you with meal planning and understand nutrition and achieve a healthy, balanced diet. At stage 3, we're still with you. Okay, this is a 1-year program, completely, totally and utterly free. The final phase of the program will provide participants with the knowledge and tools they need to continue and achieve healthy goals and well-being goals, and hopefully put your type 2 diabetes into remission. So much like the diabetes prevention program, you'll have access to the Wellbeing Way app. There's some fantastic features on there if you are smartphone orientated and you love a little bit of technology. So you can set your goals in there as well. If that's a weight goal, if that's a blood glucose goal, you can put some goals in there. And if that motivates you, that is a really good way of visualizing your progress. You've got the community chat function as well. So when you're struggling on week 1, you've got a few headaches, you're really not feeling yourself, you can probably chat with somebody who's 3 months down the line, who's lost that 2 stone, and you can speak to Bob and say, how's it going for you, Bob? And Bob will say, it's the best thing I ever done, mate. I would wholeheartedly recommend this program. Push on through. You're going to feel much better in 2 or 3 days' time. We've also got the health tracker as well. So there's visualization there of how you're going with a lovely graph. That motivates people a lot of the time. And if you choose to do the course digitally, so if you only have your coaching over the telephone with your diabetes practitioner, you've got the optional extra of having coach chat. So if you think, oh, I forgot to mention, I've got a birthday coming up, how am I going to cope? How am I going to plan my social occasions? You can pop a message through to your coach, through to your diabetes practitioner, and they'll answer that for you, because you've got that extra level of support because you're not seeing somebody face to face. But do bear in mind that's only during normal working hours. May I have the next slide? Again, like the diabetes prevention program, you've got so many resources available to you. So you've got recipe options on there, physical activity videos, mindfulness tools, visualization exercises, everything you need to support you that interlocks in between those 20 appointments that we're seeing you over the 52 weeks. So you're not going to be short of opportunities for support there and guidance on how to achieve a healthy lifestyle. Thank you so much. So these are our outcomes as a result of the programme. So as we saw with the direct study, the suspected outcome for anybody that achieves a weight loss of 10 to 15 kilograms, so that's up to 2 stone, is 60% likely to achieve remission. So that's where our data is sitting at the moment. So in stage 1 of the programme, the average weight loss is 13.8 kilograms as a result of going on this programme. At stage 2, so when people are going through the food reintroduction stage, the weight loss is still sustained at 13.5 kilograms, and they're back onto 3 meals a day by the end of that programme. So that's fantastic. The average weight loss at stage 3, so this is during the weight maintenance phase of the programme, 11.8 kilograms is still achievable, and 98% of the service users that we have on the programme have rated the service as very good or good. So this is our outcome data compared to that one available for a slide that I showed that was available from the direct study. The success is looking fantastic. So this is Sarah. She was 8 months into the programme and she lost 16.8 kilograms. So that she's in the over 15 kilograms bracket there, which makes her 70% likely to achieve remission. She stopped her metformin medication, as would have been instructed by her clinician. And she said that her relationship with her diabetes practitioner was everything for her. Angela was her rock. When she wanted to give up, she encouraged her to carry on. The online modules have helped her keep focused, and she knows what she needs to do to change her lifestyle. We love it when service users send in a photo, because those photos speak a million words. And what you can see there is Sarah's reason for doing the programme was her son. She absolutely loves to travel. She wants to be around, have a healthy lifestyle, so she wants to watch him grow up. She has so much more energy now, and he has inspired her to do the programme. She said, "Have you achieved the goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the programme?" And she said, she has achieved more than she ever dreamed of. She'll carry on with the rest of the programme and would 100% encourage anyone to take it on. She is so grateful for all the support that she had. Well done, Sarah. I don't have a Jeff, you see, so I have to use these examples. I've got Karen here. She achieved diabetes remission, as technically described at the start of the presentation. She used to wake up 6 to 10 times a night to use the bathroom. It's like having a newborn baby. She says her mental health has improved no end. Well, it would do. You know, everybody feels better for a good night's sleep. She lost 5 stone, 3.5 pounds, and her HbA1c levels have gone from 63 to 38. So as we know, that's not even in the pre-diabetic range anymore. Fantastic, Karen. Here's a little video to make up for the lack of Jeff.
I can't get over how easy this has been and how much of a change it's made. I really can't. It blows my mind.
Really supportive. I can't praise the sessions enough. I think when you get involved with a program like this, there's always hesitation because you're like, oh, do I need to share about my life, etc. But the way the program is designed and the information that is shared with you, it helps that small bit in terms of just helping you to flick the switch in your mind in terms of how you need to think about food, how you need to process energy in your body, the role that glucose plays, from the science that is really simplified for you right through to the impact on your life. I have lost just over 22 kilograms. The first 3 months of being in this program, I've been able to reverse diabetes and put it into remission. So I love the moment when I got the call from my GP and she said, stop taking the medication, you're in remission. I think the other thing that I'm really proud of is that my glucose levels have stabilized, and I am sitting comfortably between 4.4 and 4.6, which is just, yeah, again, it's incredible.
I've had high blood pressure forever, basically. I'm no longer on any blood pressure medication, which you can see from my face baffles me. I lost 4 stone, just under, but working on the last bit, nearly 4 stone during the program so far. I am off all of my diabetes medication.
I would encourage anybody who is even thinking for a moment or considering this program, this is something that can change your life. If you're committed, the NHS and the diabetes practitioners will give you the necessary support to get where you need to go. I am there. If anybody ever asks me the question, I would always say without hesitation, you need to do this. But I would caveat it by saying you need to be motivated, because there will be hard days. It's not all plain sailing.
It just makes it so simple. That's the good thing about this. So just do it. You know, I walked into it thinking it might not work, but knowing I needed to do something. I think most people who are probably watching this video are at that same kind of process. So they know they need to do something, but they don't know how. I cannot tell you how simple this has been. I cannot tell you. It's just do it. Just do it.
Thank you so much. Just 2 more slides from me, I believe. So have a think about, is this program for you? Okay, what do you want to achieve as a result of the program? We've seen people there give their experience, but what is your reason? Okay, do you want to build a happy and loving family? I'm going to read the reasons out, or the suggestions here. If you want to pop in the chat, what would be your reason for doing the program, then please pop in the chat and share. Maybe I haven't covered all of them on the slide. So to express myself in art or creativity, to travel and have new experiences, to be physically fit and strong, to grow and mature spiritually, to have a life full of change and variety, to seek out and learn new things. Maybe your reason is to take time to relax and enjoy life, or to take on a new and difficult challenge. Okay, there are many reasons why you might want to do this program, but we're all individuals. If you want to share your reason, that would be absolutely lovely. I think this might be my last slide. So the next steps regards this program. So have a look at our website. If there is anything I haven't covered, we're going to go into question and answer now. So if you want to bring it up at the end, that's absolutely fine. I'm here to answer all your questions. Think about are you ready to take this next step? Are you ready for the start of the 12-week program? Can you look in your calendar and see, a 12 weeks when you're the most clear, the least amount of commitment in your diary for you to set yourself up for success? Are you motivated and ready to make the changes for life? Okay, it is a hard program. Those 12 weeks of soups and shakes are strict, but as it said in the video, life was simple. I knew exactly where I was, A, B, C, and D, every day for the first 12 weeks. No washing up as well, fantastic. What would you like to achieve in this journey? Okay, so what is your reason? Because that is going to set you up for success. If you want to go on to do this program, you need to get in contact with your medical team, because they need to tell you what your instructions are on day 1 of the program. Obviously, if you're here tonight and you're newly diagnosed and you're not on any medication, then the process is going to be super simple for you. And I would go as far as to say within 21 days, you could be starting the program. We recommend that you call your practice and ask about the referral. This can be done at a telephone appointment with your practice nurse. Alternatively, you could speak to your GP or nurse at your next appointment, because as I said, don't stop to go for any of your screening or any of your appointment or any of your recall invitations, even if you're considering commenced or are on this program at all. I think that's my next one's my last slide. thank you so much to the Diabetes Research and Wellness Foundation tonight for the opportunity of chatting with you. Thank you, Lee, Claire and Georgina. Karina, my teammate. It's been really, really lovely, especially because it's Diabetes Awareness Week this week. So, you know, there's a real hubbub about diabetes, you know, and helping people out there know that they're not alone, and there's lots of free support out there for you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Claire.
Nearly finished on time.
Yeah, we've done really well. Yeah, I think they're two amazing programs, both programs. I don't, you can't argue with the data and the demonstrable outcomes, can you?
No, it's life-changing. It's
Yeah.
absolutely life-changing for people who take the opportunity with both hands. And why wouldn't you? It's life-changing.
Definitely. And I don't think you can emphasize the impact on the NHS as well. You know, reducing the burden financially on the NHS, medications, appointments. You know, it's the sort of state of the nation, the health of the nation is so important, and we know the NHS is struggling. So things like this will help massively.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, so I think Claire's been monitoring
Yeah.
the Q&A to see if we've got any questions.
Jill Totten asked about finding. She's in Pembrokeshire, so I sent her, and we can do this, I know, Lee, on the UTD hub. I think the links to where you can find this in your region. So there is a service in Wales. I've sent her the link. So I know when we looked at the map, it wasn't. There isn't coverage at the moment completely, is there, Claire? I think it just depends on where you are, but there will be, I think.
Well, Wales is a different health authority, not a different health authority, but a different system.
Yeah, it is
so,
there. It is there. Yeah. But so I'm up in East Yorkshire, and I noticed that was a different pattern on the map. And when I had a quick look, it's not quite, I don't think, quite as covered as maybe Hampshire and Isle of Wight, but I think it is in the process, isn't it?
No, it doesn't help that my geography is terrible as well. But
halfway on the right.
Yeah. Everybody will be catered for in one way or another, even if Xyla are not the person to guide you through the programs.
So I think we'll, as I say, we can have that on the hub, can't we, for people to have a look in their region. Definitely. And then we've had a thank you as well from Mahima Chowdhury. She just said, thank you so much for this educational program, life-changing experiences. She's lovely.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it thoroughly, even though I'm a contributor. I've had a lovely time.
What's nice is the fact that we've recorded the webinar tonight, and we can put it out on the digital hub and on the YouTube page with all the links to, you know, all the other resources. Means that, you know, we can engage people with this ongoing. So if people haven't joined us tonight, we can still get the information out there and raise awareness to it.
Anne Shakescraft's asking what's available for the over 65s.
Okay, so there is a program called Healthy Living. I will try and find the URL. 1 second.
Again, we can put that on the hub.
Yeah, www.healthyLiving.nhs.uk. So that's the program if you don't fit the criteria for the path to remission. Doesn't mean that there aren't other options out there that are free of charge as well.
Healthyliving.nhs.uk.
Yeah, healthyliving.nhs.uk. You can register. It comes straight up. Register.
Okay, I've popped that over to her.
Excellent. I'll pop that in the email that also goes out to everybody.
Yeah. Lee and I were just chatting while you were presenting about this opportunity, and when I was diagnosed, I would have loved to have had that opportunity, because I think you do feel quite alone. I think a lot of people talk about that at our events, how alone you might feel, and it's a bit of a shock to get that diagnosis, isn't it? And to think there's things out there now, I think is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's why people who are interested should take it with both hands, because everything is available all the time, and the programs change and the availability changes. So grab what's available whilst it's there.
Yeah. And I think as well, those years ago, because we didn't have programs like this and education and awareness, people had type 2 and it just went on undiagnosed. When they do get diagnosed, it's too late, and then they start having nasty complications. But the whole idea of this now is, that we can stop those long-term complications.
Derek's asked, do you have any information concerning supporting actual support groups? I'm not quite sure what he means by that.
Okay, so Diabetes UK have a lovely range of support groups. I know about the Winchester and Eastleigh one. I know about the Solent Diabetes Group. There's also the Solent Diabetes Association. I'm totally up to speed with the Hampshire options. Does this gentleman want to say where he's from?
I'll wait to see if he does. I mean, back up in East Yorkshire, and Lee knows because Lionel's one of our lovely volunteers. There is actually a individual whole-based diabetes support group that he runs with other people.
And we've got Hayley in Hartlepool, who runs an amazing group.
Oh, Derek's in Essex.
I would have to look that one up because I'm not familiar with it, but the Diabetes UK website is a great source of support, as I'm sure you probably list some support organisations on yours as well.
We do, and we do have we run the Health Unlocked online support, which is not just UK based, but it is an online. It's on our website, and there are communities out there, aren't there?
There are. There's quite a lot of great Facebook groups.
The Sugar Buddies, the Sugar Buddies.
Sugar Buddies
on Facebook.
Often your GP or practice nurse can signpost you to your local group if there's a local support group. Facebook, there's lots and lots of groups, very supportive, peer support.
If not, maybe try to start one yourself. Just if it's getting together people and sharing information.
Yeah, and actually if people have got questions or need extra support, they can contact us as well. Contact the charity.
Derek says online would be most pragmatic. So there you go.
Yeah, so Facebook, have a look on Facebook.
Oh, Mid Essex Diabetes Support.co.uk is the URL. That's for meetings in Chelmsford, Essex and Essex.
Brilliant.
As well, what I want to mention, and I just Googled, we do have in Coventry and Warwickshire Desmond course. So I just Googled Desmond, and there is a map on their website, find your nearest center. And I can see few location, even in Wales as well. So people can just check it out if they want. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can add the link.
I just put a link on the email, Karina.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Desmond is the national type 2 structured education program. Yes, isn't it? So most people with type 2 diabetes should be offered that by their practice. If not, they can ask their practice nurse.
Sometimes they can self-register, so they don't need to go back to the nurse, which is easier.
Yeah, so again, having this stuff available, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So Derek's saying he started a group. So I've just said, I'm going to just check my answers there actually. Actually, I've created a support group for diverse and ethnicity within the PCN structure. So I said you can always access our DRWF resources, leaflets and things if he wants.
Absolutely. And if it is a group for ethnic people and diverse communities. We've got another webinar in December, all about managing diabetes, type 1, type 2, gestational, whatever diabetes you've got, through cultural festivals. So we're going to be talking about Ramadan and Eid, Hanukkah and Passover, Easter and Christmas, and all of those festivals when all the naughty food and all the challenging food comes out. And I think that we've never seen a multi-faith one like that before. And we've got 6 amazing speakers on that one as well. So have a look on the website. In fact, I'll put a link to it on the email that goes out. So that'll be another. I mean, December seems a long way off, doesn't it? Not, is it? It'll be here before we know it.
Shall we give a shameless plug to your Saturday event as well, Lee?
On Saturday.
Yeah, focused on eye screening.
Yeah, if you're local, we're having a in-person morning at the Solent Hotel in Whiteley, and it's all about diabetes and eye health and retinal screening. Claire's going to be there with us. We've got some other exhibitors, and I must say before we finish the webinar that Emma and Luke from Dexcom will be with us as well, and big shout out to Dexcom because they sponsored the webinar tonight. They're an amazing team and we love working with them. There we go. Wonderful. So thanks to the team at Dexcom, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing them on Saturday as well. Any more questions, Claire?
Derek's asking, did we have anything planned for International Diabetes Day? Then he said, sorry to ask so many questions. Don't have to be sorry. I said, not an event as such, but recognising it. And I've said, what are you thinking? So we've always got, you know, if you suddenly decide you'd like to fundraise for us, then yes.
We've got our wellness day up in Hartlepool.
Yes, we have.
November the 15th, I believe.
Yeah.
And we've got some other webinars, but yeah, we'll be doing things on social media, and
yeah,
we always mark that, don't we, Claire?
We do. Wear blue.
Yeah. Any more?
Nothing at the moment. Oh, hang on, open. We go to the open questions. No, I think we've answered everything that's on there. Yeah,
brilliant.
Everything. Yeah.
Well, we're slightly over anyway, so
okay. I
think shall we call it an evening?
Yes.
Yeah. So massive thank you to Claire Kavanagh and Krina Moldovan from Xyla Health and Wellbeing. I think that was such an interesting, brilliant webinar tonight. I think everyone's going to
Thank you so much to you, Lee, Claire, and Georgina for arranging this webinar, and we can always do it again. We hope that the attendees found it useful, and we hope that they will use the free services.
Absolutely. 100%. Brilliant. And it's nice to work with you on screen for a change, because normally it's in person and we're at our events together. So this is nice. But I think you're right. Time for a cup of cocoa now and put our feet up.
All right, lovely.
Thank you so much. Lovely to see you.
Oh, and thank you to everyone that joined us tonight as well.
Thank you.
We can't see you, but we know you're out there.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good night.
Thank you all. Good luck. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.